The stranger in the woods. I've always loved camping. Growing up, my dad would take me and my younger brother out into the woods every summer. He taught us how to fish, how to make a fire, and how to listen to the sounds of the forest. By the time I was in college, camping had become more than just a hobby. It was a tradition. One summer, a group of us 5 friends in total decided to spend a long weekend camping in a national forest. We picked a site that was a little remote, the kind you had to hike a mile or two to reach. We wanted to be away from the usual campgrounds, where families and RVs crowded every space. This time, we wanted peace, quiet, and the feeling of being completely surrounded by nature. The first day went perfectly. We set up our tents, built a fire, and spent the evening roasting hot dogs and telling stories. As the sun went down, the forest filled with the steady chorus of crickets. The stars came out, brighter than any of us were used to seeing in the city. We laughed, we drank a little, and for the most part, everything felt safe and normal. Around midnight, when the fire had died down to glowing embers, I heard it, a faint crunching sound, like footsteps on dried leaves. At first, I thought it might be an animal, a deer, maybe even a raccoon. But the sound was steady, measured, like someone walking on 2 feet. "Did you guys hear that?" I whispered. Everyone went quiet. We all listened. The crunching stopped. One of my friends, Ryan, laughed it off. "It's just your imagination, man. The woods are full of noises." But I couldn't shake the feeling that it was different. A few minutes later, it came again. Crunch, crunch. Closer this time. We shined our flashlights into the trees, but saw nothing. The light only illuminated the first few feet, then swallowed by darkness. Ryan yelled, "Hey, who's there?" His voice echoed strangely through the trees, but no answer came. Eventually, we convinced ourselves it was just an animal. We climbed into our tents and tried to sleep, but I couldn't. Every rustle, every distant snap of a twig set my nerves on edge. I must have dozed off at some point, because the next thing I remember is waking up to the sound of faint laughter. It wasn't close. It was drifting through the trees, carried by the wind, but it was human. Low, rasping laughter. I sat up, heart pounding, and listened. The laughter faded, replaced once again by silence. I didn't sleep much after that. The morning came, and I almost convinced myself I had dreamed the whole thing. We spent the day hiking, swimming in a creek, and generally having a good time. By nightfall, I had nearly forgotten my fear. That night, though, things got worse. Sometime around 2 in the morning, my friend Sarah screamed. I scrambled out of my tent and saw her standing just outside hers, pointing toward the trees. "There! Did you see him?" she cried. We all looked, shining our lights into the woods. For a split second, I thought I saw something. A figure, pale and thin, darting between the trees. But it moved so quickly, I couldn't be sure. "Who's out there?" Ryan shouted again. His voice cracked this time. Silence. We stayed huddled together near the fire for hours, afraid to go back into our tents. Eventually, exhaustion won, and one by one, we drifted off to uneasy sleep. The next morning, while packing up to leave, I noticed something that made my blood run cold. Around the perimeter of our campsite, in the dirt and leaves, were footprints, dozens of them. Human footprints. They circled our tents again and again, sometimes coming within just a foot of where our heads had been as we slept. Whoever it was had been out there all night, watching us, walking in circles. We never went back to that part of the forest again. And to this day, When people ask why I don't like camping anymore, I tell them the truth. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of who might be standing just beyond it.